Okay, microphone is yours.
Thank you. So my name is Jānis Ploks. I'm director of third of buildings, which is right now in design stage in Latvian University Academic Center. And right now there are two real buildings and one on the paper. Back to the history, in 2010 there was a competition regarding academic center. You can see in the right corner the sketch of winner. In that time there was the only half of academic center right now.
Yanni, I think you need to click once, right? Yeah, no, it switched to the next slide. Before we saw only Latvian University, but now we can see it. Yes.
Okay, so there's some time lapse. Okay, and right now we have 10 hectares of area, and we had that 2010, and right now we are much bigger, and we are trying to develop, and right now there is the architectural competition about all 10 hectares of area. We will add additional 4 buildings, and I will later you show the ideas. Let's say 300-400 years ago there was the fortress, and you can see the shape of fortress, and this is also quite significant part of our heritage and history. So there is the 2 buildings existing, and the third one is the House of Letters, what I am responsible of, and this is the third building. So here you can see the building phase of second building. The first one, House of Nature, is already erected, and this is the place or the site of House of Science. And you can see the old fortresses with the timber structure. In the very beginning, if you see the right picture, this was the competition. There was 4 buildings, and here garage and student housings. During the process, there was slightly changes. On the right hand, you can see the reality first and second. These are existing buildings. Number 1 is House of Nature, number 2 is House of Science, and number 3 would be the House of Letters. And the brown spots are car parkings. And right now we are trying to finish this competition regarding all areas of academic center. This is the House of Nature. This was the first building, total area 18.5 thousand square meters, mostly human faculties. And really nice building. That was the first one. Second one, House of Science. My office is there, and there are medical faculties, physics, and so on. And this is the House of Letters, the third one. The building, the biggest one, almost 28,000 square meters, 7 levels plus 8th floor, which is the loft floor. And yeah, you can see also environment what we are right now trying to design and make reality. Regarding your task, we thought that there could be 4 different objects. I'm marked in the site plan right now. The red spot is house of letter, and I will be responsible of that. So the first one, the number 1, is we call them cabin of philosophy, where you can smoke. Actually, this is smoker cabin, but I know a little bit about the 3D printing, and that's for sure you cannot make roofed area. So probably there will be just external walls or shelter, something like that. Number 2, there is this small square where benches located, and these are our subcontractor offer typical benches, and we would like to see something much better and probably nicer. And there are the spots where you can locate them, and I will later on share the site plan in AutoCAD if you want, and you can scale it and make it more detailed. Number 3 is the bicycle stands. If you look at this picture, there is the canopy, quite huge. And the canopy is something like 2.5 meters wide. So we will place these bicycle stands under the canopy. And as the building, part of the building is concrete, so it would be great if we can design something like that. And number 4, on the right picture, there we are right now. We are designing some 40 square meters pavilion about academic center development, and we have the small building in design stage right now, but probably we can add some nice 3D printed. I don't know. It could be the ramp, or there's some chill zone, something like that. Here you can see the offers. What contractor right now offering the smoked area, bench, and typical very simple bicycle stands. And number 4, this is the academic center sketch of building, and you can add some concrete details on that. And number 5, actually, that is your free choice. Probably you can find something that we cannot imagine right now. And this picture under the pavilion, this is the location of that pavilion on front of the House of Nature. Actually, from my side, that is it. So these are our sketch, just very, very brief sketch, what could look like the academic center after all the buildings are built. So here you can see House of Nature, House of Science, House of Letter. Close to the Rail Baltic railways. This could be the multi-story car parking. These small towers right now, senior houses, maybe not like that, but at least we see the volumes, how big they are comparing with others. In the middle, this is House of Sport, pool, 2 floorballs, areas, and gyms, and a lot of stuff for students and surrounding. And these are House of Technology and House of Health. We already have the building permit for that but we're stuck because program is changing, and right now we are in the middle actually. So yes, if you have so many questions, so I'm available, and thank you.
It looks like we have a location for many more competitions available.
Sure.
We could even print a house for you at, at some point, probably the last building. So thank you for the presentation. And I suppose I can answer the questions panel. For the participants, you can raise your hand or you can put a question in the comments section here. So one of the questions that probably also goes to the participants, maybe you can say what type of format you would like to have, what type of material would you require to work better. But I understand we can probably provide a SketchUp model of 3D geometry around the area. Maybe Yanni, you can clarify a little bit what's expected, what we will have in this material package, what we will give to the students that they can work with.
I'm wondering, do you need these huge buildings? We can, of course, the House of Letter is in design stage, and we can share the scheme of building.
Yeah, I think that is an outline. Yeah, it would be good, like height, so you can kind of work a little bit with design.
And of course, the small pavilion, if somebody would like to add something from concrete there, we have the SketchUp model as well, and site plan.
Yeah, I think that would be a great start. So, of course, for this first part of the, those who joined later probably didn't hear the introductory part where we went through the full timeline of the competition. So the main takeaway from that was that all the events we are having now we call them warm-up events. So we had a few on modeling in 3D that you can still access on the Facebook page. There was a really good lecture last week from Professor Maris, soon to be Professor Maris Shinka of 3D Concrete Laboratory on what is possible actually currently. Of course, you can stretch it a little bit, but the slides are also accessible in the board link we will send to you, as well as the video. And what that all leads towards is that in general, you have 3 evaluation criteria where the jury will look at. So the first one of those, and probably for now the most important one, is design an idea. I would also include here the capabilities of your team, because you're basically in this 4-hour competition. Nobody expects you to create a full 3D printable object. It can probably even not be 3D yet. You can use more like sketches, but you definitely have to cover is why your team deserves to continue in the next stage, because only the 10 teams will be selected for this next stage, and also how you will, like, what's your interesting approach to this 3D printing challenge. So basically, because we want this 3D printed element to be something that can only be 3D printed. And for ideas, I think Yanis today gave a great ideas from function-wise, what functions University of Latvia would like to be solved through this 3D printed object. So we need a place where to sit down, we need a place where to park the bikes, and we need a place where to philosophize and do other activities. As I understand, one of the conditions is also that the area is quite windy. So, for example, if we can provide some type of shelter, then that would be quite valuable. Also, the fourth or slash fifth approach after this cube of representation, or how do we call it? It's the open, so you can actually come with your own idea too. It's fine. You can design a sound sculpture or an installation. Of course, one of the criteria later will be this ability to realize it and put it inside. So it's quite challenging, but we are not completely locking you out. So the idea is that we are giving you some things we definitely need. Know that the campus needs. If you have your own idea to make a fountain or something like that, it's of course possible too, but we need to be sure that it can be a bit harder to achieve. So we're not guaranteeing that it will be definitely printable. So for this hackathon phase itself, basically, you will have 4 hours to work with. The presentation is 3 minutes. And after that, and the next Tuesday after the competition, the jury will announce results, which teams have made it farther. Those teams will get 500 virtual credits that can be used for 3D printing, for preparing posters for the final presentations. And those will be after 3 months in the 2022 spring season. So we'll finalize dates when we know better what COVID gives us, and then what are the other, because we would love to have that in person, of course, and actually like feel and touch the little printed scale models. That would be extremely amazing. Get some snacks for everyone, but we'll see how that works out. So yeah, here you can see the little thing that we now have passed over this presentation. This is what always shows you where we are in the competition timeline. And the most important date currently is 10th of November midnight, when the registrations close. We are also taking in account how quickly you register, so definitely don't postpone it to the last possible moment. It pays off to register quicker. Otherwise, from my side, that would be currently everything. Maybe there are some questions from participants. Definitely feel free to bring them forth. If not, it means that we did a really good job of explaining, and that competition should be super fluid, and the works will be amazing. So yes, remember to check the WhatsApp group, those who have registered, and the next meeting we will try to focus more on some approaches to 3D modeling, so you also can model your ideas. Otherwise, we are making the last round of option of asking a question. If not, then have an amazing Tuesday evening, and we'll definitely see you the next week. Yeah, Didis has a question.
Yeah. So for me, the 3 of the 4 were really clear, like shelters, benches, smoking area, and your own idea. But I didn't quite catch what was the academic center, what was needed to design there.
The 4th and 5th, yes. I will give a quick answer, and then Yanis will probably clarify. So the 4th one is like a representative area where there will be information on the whole vision of the campus. So what was shown in the last slide. And in the 5th one is completely open. You can design a toilet seat. I don't know, like you can do art, you can do a sound installation. But I remember that one of the evaluation criteria in 2020 spring final presentations will be realizability and maintenance. So 2 jury members will be from that side of things. But for this first stage, you can go quite crazy. Yes, Jan, please elaborate.
Thank you. Yeah, I should add that this pavilion is like small meeting point where you can enter in and see the progress of academic center, and probably there will be some advertisement on the surfaces, and yeah, the spot where people can meet, and probably there will be some workshops into these small buildings. So right now it's only buildings which stands alone, and if you can find some functional concrete, I don't know, concrete sofa or concrete benches or some lounge area outside the building, expound in weather. So this could be the option, something like that.
I hope we answered your question. Very good. This is nodding. Do we have any additional questions? Maybe someone else remembered something they wanted to find out. Okay, looks right. So I hope you're all working on your ideas then, and Yes, thanks all for joining in this late. We still have 20 minutes to go to. The shops are closed. I think it's 7. So yes, watch all the lectures we did on the 3D modeling to be ready for the next one. Artists will probably prepare something great for us. Otherwise, thanks again, and see you next week.
Thank you for all participants.